Tonight, you don't need to think too hard. You don't need to remember names or dates. You don't need to stay awake. You can simply lie back, let your shoulders relax, and allow your breathing to slow down. Imagine the quiet sound of a distant wind outside an old stone building. Perhaps a faint crackle of fire somewhere nearby. Maybe the soft echo of footsteps on a cobbled street. Long ago. Tonight's story is not about kings shouting orders or armies clashing. It is about something much quieter, something that passed gently from hand to hand, from market to market, from century to century. Tonight we are exploring the slow, peaceful history of forgotten coins and forgotten currency. Small objects that once lived in pockets, purses, and simple wooden boxes. Coins that paid for bread, candles, salt, and wool. Coins that jingled softly, then disappeared into history. As you listen, you may drift in and out of awareness. That's perfectly fine. The story will keep flowing, even if you fall asleep. Let us begin very slowly. Long before coins had faces, numbers, or official stamps, people still needed ways to trade. In the earliest villages, money did not exist at all. Instead, people exchanged what they had: grain for pottery, milk for cloth, fish for firewood. These exchanges were quiet and personal. They happened in small groups, often between neighbors who knew each other well. There was no rush, no hurry. Over time, certain objects became more valuable than others, not because they were shiny, but because they were useful. Salt was one of them. So was grain. So were animal skins, shells, beads, and even stones. In some coastal villages, smooth shells were carefully collected and stored. They were light, durable, and easy to count. They fit nicely in the palm of the hand. They made a soft clicking sound when placed together. Far inland, people used pieces of metal, copper, bronze, or iron, often unmarked, uneven, and heavy. These were not coins yet. They were simply pieces of value. People weighed them on small balances. Quiet moments of measuring and adjusting. Tiny weights placed carefully, one by one. There were no portraits, no slogans, no official symbols. Just value, measured slowly. In those days, money did not travel far. It stayed close to home, like everything else. And then, very gradually, someone had an idea. The first true coins did not arrive suddenly. They emerged quietly, almost accidentally. In a region known as Lydia, thousands of years ago, small pieces of metal were stamped with simple marks. These marks did not shout authority. They whispered reassurance. A stamp meant trust. It meant that someone, somewhere, had already weighed this metal. It meant you didn't have to. These early coins were made from electrum, a natural mix of gold and silver. Each one was slightly different. No two were exactly the same. They were thick, uneven, softly imperfect. There were no faces on them at first, just symbols, animals, simple shapes, a lion, a bull, a leaf. People held them between their fingers, feeling their weight, turning them slowly in candlelight. Coins began to travel from village to village, from trader to trader. They crossed rivers. They passed through dusty roads. They slept in leather pouches at night. And with every journey, they gathered stories. Not loud stories, quiet ones. A loaf of bread bought before sunset, a jug of wine shared at dusk, a blanket purchased before winter. Coins became companions of daily life. As centuries passed, coins became more familiar. They gained faces, names, and meaning. But even then, most people did not think of coins as history. They thought of them as tools. A Roman farmer carried a few coins tied in cloth. A Greek merchant kept them in a small box beneath his stall. A traveler stitched them into his clothing for safety. Coins paid for olives, for oil, for bread still warm from the oven. They were passed over counters slowly, counted carefully, listened to. People knew the sound of real coins, the weight, the feel. Counterfeit coins existed, but they were rare. Trust still mattered. At night, coins were stored away, hidden in clay jars, buried beneath floors, tucked inside walls. Some were never recovered, not because of tragedy, but because time simply moved on. A family moved away, a house collapsed, a village faded, coins slept where they were left. In medieval times, coins became smaller, more regional, more personal. Every kingdom minted its own currency. Some cities even had their own. Coins were often thin and uneven, made of silver, sometimes mixed with other metals. They bent easily. They wore down quickly. A coin might pass through dozens of hands in a single year, each hand leaving a trace. Medieval people did not hoard coins the way we imagine. Money was for movement. A baker used it in the morning. A farmer used it at noon. A traveler spent it by evening. Coins flowed like quiet rivers. Some bore the image of a king, others a cross, others just words. Most people never met the ruler whose face appeared on their coin, but they trusted the symbol. Coins were part of routine life. No drama, just habit. Many coins did not survive history, not because they were destroyed, but because they were reused. Old coins were melted down, recast, reborn as new currency. Some were lost in rivers, dropped on roads, buried in fields. Others simply became obsolete. A new ruler arrived. A new coin replaced the old. People adjusted without complaint. They always did. Coins that once ruled markets faded quietly. Today they rest in museums, or beneath soil, or inside forgotten walls. They no longer buy bread, but they still carry memory. As this story slows, so can your breathing. Coins once moved endlessly. Now they rest. Their journeys are complete. Imagine one final coin, lying quietly, no longer needed, no longer counted. History does not rush it, neither do you. The world continues, softly, gently, without hurry. You can let go now. The story will fade, like footsteps in the distance. Good night.